Hey everybody, I'm Kusa and welcome back to home. I still have no idea what's going on, but we found a number of my personal effects in a cryptic notebook in the forest, so we're just gonna keep going and hope nothing spooky happens again. More of these rusty doors! As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. I hope! Excuse you, fence! Oh no! I found the body of a security guard. Just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wondered, was this flashlight his? Dug into the ground was a cracked, old watch. First my wallet, and now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Yes. The watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyway. Into the factory, I guess. Okay, so that loud noise wasn't the door locking behind me, like I thought it might have been. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. There's a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front that said, "Danger, closed for repairs." Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. I guess I'm gonna go through the door first. A power panel. It looked like it was shut off. Did I press the switch? Yeah. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yeah. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was was unrecognizable. The power panel looks like it was shut off. Alright, that one's working now. It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot on the side. You know, considering that nothing's actually proved to be threatening yet, I shouldn't be so spooked, but I definitely am. Very, very spooked. The door had been hastily boarded up. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented, like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked here. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I press the switch? Yes. A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yes. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. I struck with the hammer. The old wooden boards came apart easily. After I had removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. This was my locker, there in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken the picture home when the factory closed. There was a mess of empty booze bottles. I wondered if that man in the house had something to do with this. He sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. What is happening? I don't know. But I want to know. And the game's not doing a very good job of letting me know. I know it'll let me know in the end, I'm sure, but... The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes. Another panel that I hope to help me get out. Yes. 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 Alright. I think that's all of them to get the power back on. Now I just need to not get spooked super bad on my way back. That was unsettling. What was that? The key card I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the key card? Yeah. There was some kind of ventilation hatch there. It looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? Did I jump? Oh, alright, let's do it! Ow! Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Yes. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked like a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was, need to, just don't, drinking, need, Norman. Who was Norman writing to? I stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid of its smell, of its memories. I couldn't stop thinking about that room with the bottles in it. Was that guard I found outside really drinking up there? What about Norman? And who had rooted through all those lockers? I couldn't tell where I was as I looked around, but I figured I needed to get to a road, get my bearings. Maybe Norman could help. His store wasn't that far from the turnoff to the factory, if I remember correctly. No. Excuse you. I really wish I hadn't missed out on that one room. I'm gonna regret that, I'm sure, but... well, I didn't like the sound of what was going on down there, either. I don't like that, either. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food in slick, black bags. I saw a thin, greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yes. I cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card. And now this. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. No! I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for the faint sound of a television. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I couldn't just pop it open. It needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. I don't like that! What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing there? Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Yes. I carefully pushed the piece back in place and felt a great burden lifted. Norman, what were you doing with all of these? Oh my god. The TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. Oh no. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my co-worker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with shock, though they were already drying. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yes. I closed his eyelids down, shuddering as I did so. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think about what was going on. I guessed this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through the mess, did I? Yes. I found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. I could only think of poor Norman upstairs. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. Norman was dead, but I had no idea why. Was he involved in all of this somehow, or was he just another victim? The gun I had found only seemed to complicate matters. It was such a relief to finally be rid of it. Home wasn't far off now. Even though the rain was relentless, I had to keep going. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it in all the way. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes. There was no return address, but the envelope was addressed to Norman. Carefully, I tore it open and looked at the letter inside. It read, "Stay away. She's mine." That was it. No signature, no other information. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. I had the wrong gate. This one was locked. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. Afraid of what, I wonder? We're gonna have to find out next time. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about this, and about me, and just what you think in general, I guess. I'm getting a really bad feeling about all this. So, yeah, I'm just kind of hoping that things don't turn out the way I'm starting to think they might. Yeah, this is pretty heavy. So, as always, I'll see you next time.